Welcome to Undisputed. We're live from Los Angeles. I'm Joy Taylor, here with Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp. Good morning, guys.
Wait, I thought you had a surprise for me.
Yeah.
Whoa, where's my due? 40 points.
You didn't
You
take
did
the
not
bet.
take that.
Yeah, that's all.
You didn't take the bet.
I just wanted you to know that Bron could do that. It ain't a given moment.
Oh.
I just wanted you to know.
You were right about everything except the final score. That's all that really matters at your restaurant, right?
No, I served, sometimes.
You served
yeah,
LeBron last night.
You
You made
other things.
a little exception.
Okay.
LeBron, he got to come in the backside somewhere. And
Oh,
just
you okay? You got
sit
jokes.
with you, and I don't know.
We'll have a conversation on Monday. It'll be 2-1. I feel very comfortable in saying that.
Well, where's the surprise?
Joy, you two, et tu, Joy?
Yes, me too.
Et tu, Brute.
Yeah.
Julius Caesar.
Yeah.
You know that. You
That's
studied that.
That's what Calpurnia.
I don't know. I actually felt bad for him last night. Not much more you can do than that. Let's start with LeBron. On the positive side, LeBron came out firing last night, scoring 21 points in the first quarter, on his way to a 42-point, 10 rebound, 12 assist triple-double. On the negative side, the Cavs led by 7 at halftime, but were blown out in the second half by the Celtics. Jaylen Brown led the way with 23, and Scary Terry added 18. Boston is still perfect at home in the playoffs and have a 2-0 lead in the series. Let's take a listen to LeBron after the loss.
I think I'll be fine. I'm not going to lose sleep over it. You go out and you lay everything on the line. At the end of the day, you can live with that. So, I'll recalibrate as far as how I can help this team continue to be successful.
Shannon, what happened last night?
LeBron and Kevin Love played really well. I don't know how much better they can play than what they played, but they got no help from the other role players. J.R. Smith and George Hill, Joy, they scored 3 more points than I did. I was on my couch eating a veggie burger with shorts and T-shirt on. And they got 3 more points than me, and they played. George Hill played 33 minutes. J.R. played 27 minutes. LeBron came out aggressive. I knew he would play. Tristan said it would be legendary. Had they won, we would have looked back at this and said this was a legendary performance. He shot the ball 13 times in the first quarter, which is the most shots he's ever attempted in a first quarter in his entire NBA career, regular season or postseason. So we knew he was going to be aggressive from the start. But give the Celtics credit. I told you Category 5 was going to touch down. They bunkered down. They weathered the storm. Joy, I thought I was in trouble when LeBron went nuclear, 21 points in the first quarter. They're only up 4 points. When someone normally goes off like that, you're up 10, 12, 14. So I'm like, oh, boy, here we go. Unless he's going to score 21 in the second, 21 in the third, and 21 in the fourth, it could be a long evening, Skip. Boston has the better basketball team. The only thing that we have better is that we have the best player on the planet. And for the longest time against Indiana, against Toronto, that was enough. I'm about 15% sure that might not be enough this time around.
Really?
Yeah,
I think you're giving up the ghost
No,
over there.
I'm not giving up. But I just need to. Skip, JR bull jive last night, Skip. He bull jive. You know that. I know that. You can't let the backcourt. Jaylen Brown and Rozier outscored the Cavs backcourt 41-3. How you expect to win?
LeBron is in your backcourt. Don't ever forget that. He's your point guard.
If you can find fault with a man that scored 42, 10, and 12.
Oh, I'm about to.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. I already got my rebuttal. I'm gonna let you walk. I'm gonna let you walk into this trap. But give the Boston Celtics. They weathered the storm early. The Cavs didn't play any defense in the third quarter. They give up 23, 25, and then all of a sudden in the third, which has been a bugaboo for them the entire season, they give up 36 points, and the Celtics never look back from that point.
I knew it was going to be JR Day here on Undisputed. He was going to be the scapegoat and the fall guy. It's JR's fault. Get him. Cut him. Get rid of him.
How many points did he score?
How many shots did he take?
How many? How many shots did he take, Skip? 7. So what? You supposed to go 0 for 7? Is that the new thing? Is that how you win games in the NBA? Going 0 for 7? Okay. I didn't think so.
Last night, LeBron James had the ball in his hands 47% of the time the Cleveland Cavaliers had the basketball. That's extraordinarily high for any NBA game because during the year, LeBron had it on average 31% of the time in their games. James Harden, it seemed like, had the ball the whole game the other night, and he had it 40%. to LeBron's 47% last night. Now, before I get into what I want to say, allow me to say, was I ever wrong about your Cavaliers? Because I said Cavs in 5, and mathematically, I think I lost. So I was wrong about that. And
you was wrong about LeBron too, because you said he couldn't do that against the Celtics.
Well, I told you I was trying to keep expectations low because I really wanted them to win that game because it would have made it very much more interesting as they went home 1-1 instead of down 0-2, because now you realize they're going to have to win 4 of the next 5 against that team. You like your chances?
Yep, I do.
4 out of 5. Well, I'm going to hang in with you and say they will somehow, some way win 4 out of 5.
6 or 7 now.
Yeah. But allow me to say this about the game before I get to LeBron. It was one of the weirdest, most frustrating, tormenting fourth quarters I have ever watched because Boston could not slam the door. Obviously, they don't have Kyrie Irving, who was sitting in civilian clothes over on the bench. They don't have Gordon Hayward. They don't have a lot of players that they've had through the year, but they don't have their closer, Kyrie Irving. And do you realize there was a stretch from 11 minutes and 13 seconds left in the game down to 6:11? That's a 5-minute stretch in which the Boston Celtics scored a grand total of 3 points. I'm thinking this is on a silver platter for the King. I kept tweeting, take it home, King, because they are leaving the door wide open for you. And in that stretch, guess what the score was? That's a 5-minute fourth quarter stretch. Cleveland won that stretch 5-3. They cut the deficit from 11 to 9, and that's not enough. No. But they did finally get it down to 6 with 4:42 left. And I'm still thinking, LeBron, just take it over because, listen, still, Boston has no single defender who can stop LeBron James. Marcus Morris tried to stop him a couple times in isolations in the fourth quarter, and what happened? He just took him right to the bucket, and he scored pretty easily, or even got an and one and got to the free throw line. Am I right?
Yep.
And then, of all people, Al Horford just said, I'm going to go LeBron on LeBron. And he just took the game over and scored 8 straight points from that point on. And I thought Tristan was the Al Horford stopper. That's what Ty Lue said.
But Tristan wasn't in the game.
Yeah, he was.
Kevin Love.
No, Tristan was in. He was in the game. He was in. I want to make sure. He was in that whole stretch. And Al Horford just said, no, I'm going to take this game over. Scored 8 straight points, and they go on a 12-5 run to end the game, and they win by 13 points. I was just shocked over that. So the final score of the fourth quarter was Celtics 23-17. Mm-hmm. The Celtics went 0 for 7 from 3 in the fourth quarter. 0 for 7 from. Wouldn't you think that the door swung wide open? Yeah. Guess what your Cavaliers did? They went 0 for 8. LeBron went 0 for 2. And LeBron's last 3, I hate to point out, hit nothing but backboard. It didn't hit the rim, it hit the backboard. So now let's get to the crux. Let's get to the bottom line. Let's get to what I don't think a lot of people are going to talk about today. Let's get to the why that the Cavaliers lost by 13. To start with, LeBron James was that storm that you predicted. A storm did literally hit Boston right before the game, and he did hit them as I expected I thought this was what he was going to do in game number 1. And so what does he do? He scores 21 in the first quarter, and he makes 4 out of 7 threes. He comes in shooting 26%, and they showed video. ESPN had video of him coming out early, like at 10 o'clock in the morning, and putting in some work. Shirtless work, but he's just shooting shots, and he got his rhythm going. And you know what happens? When he gets on one of those hot streaks, he will go. So he makes 4 out of 7 threes, scores 21 points. And then guess what happened? He scored only 21 the rest of the way in the game. Well, obviously, you set a tone that you couldn't keep up. And to me,
who could keep up that pace?
LeBron.
Who could?
Because he was running out of gas.
Who can keep up that pace? Name the guy who can score the exact 20 points in the first, second, third, and fourth quarter, Skip.
Well, I've seen people do it. Kobe did it once. But the point is, LeBron James in year 15 played the most minutes in all of basketball. Through the playoffs, he has played the most minutes in all the NBA. And last night, he played the most minutes in the game. And Shannon Sharp, he starts running out of gas. In the second quarter, he scored 4 points. In the third quarter, he scored 7 points. And then he tried to kick it back in a little bit in the fourth quarter and scored 10.
He scored how many points in the fourth quarter?
10.
How many did they score as a team?
17.
Oh, okay.
But that long stretch there, the door is wide open, and he cannot run through it. And it was driving me crazy because let's get to the bottom line. LeBron James, after 15 years in this league, plays little to no defense, even in a playoff game. And I got to tell you, it really deeply offends me to watch it. And I was rooting for the Cavs only because I picked them in 5 games. And LeBron James last night was playing the basic reverse box and one. That means everybody else is playing man-to-man. Usually it's zone and you're playing man. But in this case, everybody else is playing man-to-man and you're playing one-man zone. He would just stand in the middle, just stand in the basket and kind of watch. In the first quarter, who was he supposed to be guarding much of the time? Jaylen Brown. How many points did Jaylen Brown score in the first quarter while he was scoring 21? 14. Jaylen Brown hit 3 threes while LeBron was making 4 threes. Two of those. What's that?
So that means we +7. Okay.
Okay. So a couple of those threes from Jaylen Brown were wide open, uncontested, because LeBron just said, I don't have enough energy. I don't have enough gas to go out there and guard him. If he's going to make it, God bless him. Way to go. I'll just tip my cap to him. And boy, you had to tip your cap 3 times to Jaylen Brown. And just another big picture stat from last night. I give ESPN credit for this. Do you realize the Celtics last night shot 42 uncontested shots? The Cavs shot 11 uncontested. 42 to 11.
20 of those came in the third quarter also.
And the home team made 21 of 42 wide open shots. That's 50 total points. That's a lot of points. The Cavs made 6 of 11 wide open shots. That's 13. So they got outscored on just uncontested, where you're not guarding anybody kind of shots. 50 to 13. Who's going to win that game? Probably the home team is, right?
That's what happened, Skip. If you look in the third quarter, when they got that 36-point quarter that really blew the game because they were down 7 and all of a sudden they go start the fourth quarter, they're up 7.
So everybody wants to talk about 42 points and this and that. It's defense that wins these games, and it was defense that won this game last night, and it's defense is the reason why the Boston Celtics are up 2-0, because the Boston Celtics all year long, from start to finish, were #1 in defense in the NBA. The Cleveland Cavaliers, led by the quote-unquote best player on the planet, plummeted all the way to 29th out of 30 teams defensively. Why was that? Because LeBron James plummeted in individual defensive win shares to 309. He was the 309th rated player defensively in the regular season. Guess what he is in the playoffs? He's 74th. Obviously, it's a smaller sample size because you've reduced the number of teams. He's 74th in the playoffs in defensive win shares. Look at Golden State right now. Just look at Golden State, which would loom as your next adversary potentially in the finals.
Look at Steph Curry.
Think
look
about
at Draymond.
Yeah, look at these. These are defensive win shares. Draymond is first in the playoff, #1 overall. Clay is #2. Steph is #4. KD is #6. And Iguodala is #11. That's the Hamptons 5. That's their starting 5.
Think about this.
Think about that. They got 5 of the top 11.
Yeah, and Steph Curry didn't even play the first round, and they still advanced, Joe, but that's none of my business. Skip, let me go back to something. Let me go back to something.
Wait, I got to finish on defense. Third quarter. Your team gets outscored 36 to 22, just gets obliterated after you have, a 7-point halftime lead? And LeBron James is allegedly supposed to be guarding Terry Rozier. And all of a sudden he turned back into Scary Terry because he gets wide open threes. And the one that was the backbreaker was late in the third quarter. He's just wide open. And to Jeff Van Gundy's credit, here he is. It's kick out. See, look at LeBron. LeBron's just standing in the lane. He just didn't even go out to guard him. And finally, Jeff Van Gundy just goes on a rant. I know you don't listen to the sound, but he didn't call out LeBron by name, though he should have. But he went on a rant that basically said, this is not a regular season back-to-back on the road where you're just kind of out of gas. You have to rotate on defense. When it's your man, you have to go get him. And LeBron just lets him stand out there, and that started to break the game open when he made that shot. So my point is, if you're setting the wrong tone on defense because you have to save yourself just to pour all your effort into offense, mostly in the first quarter last night, your team does not rally around you on defense. They know you're not even playing defense, so this is a pathetic defensive team against the best defense.
You said LeBron James had the ball in his hand 47% of the time.
Yep.
Did you realize he accounted for 73% of the offense? Be it scored or assisting? So let me ask you a question. If you name the player in the history of the NBA that's had to carry the offensive workload in a playoff game like LeBron James. I just want you to name the offensive player that's had to carry the offensive workload of LeBron James. Was it Michael Jordan? Was it Kobe Bryant?
Yeah.
Skip. Scottie Pippen initiated the offense. Michael Jordan didn't break. Scottie Pippen.
I'm going to remind you this one more time. LeBron James was 33 years of age this year, and he ranked 309 in defense. Michael Jordan, at age 34 in his last year in Chicago, made first-team all-defense. First-team all-defense. It's a huge difference. They set the tone with their defense. They won the 98 playoffs, won the championship, setting the tone with their defense. And who was their number one defender? Michael Jeffrey Jordan.
But he did not have the offensive workload, Skip, that LeBron has.
Because he focused on defense, but when it was time to score, he's going to score points. He's mostly going to score them in the fourth quarter.
But here's the thing, though, Skip. You think about this. LeBron James in the second half, you talking about, well, he ran out of gas. He had 7 points in the third quarter and 10.
Didn't you think he ran out of gas?
Skip, he scored 17 of their 36 points in the second half.
Okay, but again, he scored 21 in the first quarter, and then it goes 4 points, 7 points, 10 points. It's just not enough.
He took the most shots.
Okay, here's what happens. Your teammates don't know what's the strategy tonight, because in game one, he said it was a feel-out game, so he tries to get everybody involved, and nothing happens. So he comes out like a hurricane, like a storm in first quarter, and then what happens after that? The teammates are like, I don't know. Am I supposed to play or not?
Skip. So how does he appease Skip? He comes out in the first game and he's not aggressive. You want to see him aggressive. Now he's aggressive, and now you're saying his teammates don't know what to expect. How does he appease you, Skip?
Kevin Love was really good last
night. I'm not talking about Kevin Love.
I'm talking about Kevin Love because he had 22 and 15. That'll win games.
If I didn't know better,
22 and 15.
If I didn't know better, my A comment was LeBron and Love played great. Nobody else gave him anything. So we've already established that.
Somebody else gave him a whole lot. Guess who it was? Kyle Korver, the fourth best three-point shooter in all of history of basketball. He scored. Wait a second. He scores 11 points in the first half, and I thought he had a really hot hand.
The second quarter. Right? So what about the first, third, and fourth quarter? Right. What did he score, Skip?
Help me out, Ty Lue. Why wasn't he in the game in the third quarter? Help me out, LeShannon. Why wasn't he in the game? Help me out.
Because they're struggling. They're struggling defensively.
They're getting wiped out. It's 36 to 22.
Let me ask you a question.
Guess what? Kyle Korver doesn't get in until the 4-minute mark of the third quarter and takes one shot. He's hot-handed, Shannon. He's as dynamic as
and he's also lead-footed, Skip.
He is not. He plays defense as hard and as well as anybody on that team. You know what he does? He's about as good a defender as there is on that team. I'm serious about that. He's 6'8".
Skip.
Jeff, you didn't hear it last night. Jeff Van Gundy was defending him as a defensive player because he's pretty good.
Skip, I will give him
all the credit. He plays hard.
He plays hard, but he's slow-footed, Skip, and that's the thing.
I think he plays pretty well. I think he's pretty disruptive.
You watch the game.
That was a big mistake.
As soon as he comes in, what do they do?
Kyle Korver 3 shots in the second half after he just gone off. Did he not look hot-handed to you? Yeah. I think LeBron has some help that wasn't used last night, right?
Skip.
Interesting.
I just don't know. I don't know what else he does. He comes out, try to get his teammates involved. LeBron, this is the playoffs. You got to be aggressive. He comes out aggressive. Now his teammates don't know what to expect. So what do you have him to do? He's shouldering the load. You still won't tell me the guy that's had to shoulder the load offensively. You actually think Michael Jordan could do what LeBron doing and still play defense? No, he couldn't. Not on his best day.
Boy, I saw him do some incredible things, and he was playing both ends.
Yeah.
Hey, that last game at Utah, that closeout game 6, he was spectacular on offense and on defense. Who stole the ball from Karl Malone in the last sequence?
You take one play.
Wow.
You took one play. He stole the ball.
Really good. No, he scored a bunch of points. I forget what he scored in that game.
Let me ask you a question. So what he did is that Hornacek ran through. He followed him and then turned back. Dennis Robb, and so Mailman had his back turned to him, and he stole the ball. You make it seem like he just picked his pocket straight up. Stop, Skip.
It was a really big-time play.
It was a big-time play because what made it big-time, Skip, was the moment and the magnitude of the game. But there's nobody that watched Michael Jordan and watches LeBron James will ever tell you Michael Jordan had the offensive workload that LeBron has. He cannot expect. And you keep saying he's 33, he's 33. He's played more minutes at 33 than Michael Jordan played in his entire career.
I just want to know how you can keep giving him a pass. Every time I bring this up, you just ignore the fact he plays little to no defense.
Skip.
It's offensive. The world gives him a pass for this. That's why they're losing these games.
There's a reason why they stop playing offensive and defensive players start playing in football to pro. You remember they used to play both sides, but there's a reason they stopped that, didn't they, Skip? Why would they do that?
As I told you, the best defender on the Chicago Bulls in 1998 was Michael Jordan, first team all defense, and they won the championship. So wouldn't you think if your goal, your priority is to win the championship, you would refocus on defense? Wouldn't you?
Did he have the
It was embarrassing last night. I just kept saying, what are you doing?
So did he lead
what
the team?
Are you doing?
If you don't mind me asking, you keep telling me that he led his defense and all that. Did he lead the team in assists? Did he lead the team in rebounding? Because I know a guy that led the team in scoring, rebounding, and assists. Can you tell me the time Michael Jordan's done that? He's done it once in his career.
This really offends me. Michael Jordan won the scoring title in the NBA 10 times. LeBron's won it 1 time. So you say, tell me the one guy who carries the load. 10 times he won the scoring title. You don't think that's carrying the load? One time has LeBron won the scoring title.
If he wanted to win the scoring title, Skip, that's not what he does. Skip, think about this.
Okay, what is it? Does he carry the load or not? I agree.
So
I told you.
I just want to make sure. I just want to get this on record. So the only way you can carry the load is if you score points.
No, but
that's what you just said.
I tweeted last night again. LeBron is the best passer in basketball.
No.
But if you're that guy, you don't run out of gas in the second quarter. He just faded. He just sort of blended into the scenery in the second and third quarter because he's out of gas.
So I'm just trying to figure out. So if you don't score, you don't carry the offensive load. So when Michael Jordan went 5 of 19 in the closeout game against Supersonics, did he run out of gas? What happened then?
He would do whatever was required.
What LeBron is doing?
Michael Jordan could have averaged 12 assists a game if he had decided but he was carrying the scoring load for the team. So he played both ways, and he played hellacious hard on both ends.
Thank you, but Skip, like you tell me, you're talking out both sides of your mouth.
See,
that you said he's carrying the scoring load, but if he wanted to, he could have averaged 12 assists. But he didn't.
And you know what offended me the most in the end? I watched all LeBron's post-game press conference live.
Yes.
And he was in a really good mood. He was cutting up, making jokes with Kevin Love.
Yes.
Ask Kev a question or I won't be able to sleep tonight.
Right.
Okay. And he was happy because he knew he was off the hook. He had a 42-point triple-double. So he had stuffed the stat sheet with numbers that will carry through.
Kind of like Tom Brady in the Super Bowl.
No, well.
Tom Brady had joy. He threw for 505 and 3 touchdowns.
Time out. Does Tom Brady get to play defense? Because you know what? I think Tom wanted to go in and actually play cornerback because Malcolm Butler wasn't allowed to.
LeBron has made this abundantly clear.
Wow.
He says, I leave everything I have on that court.
You know, that line offended me.
One.
Yeah.
Well, or game 2, when you don't play defense, you left everything on the court.
But I love
that's embarrassing.
I love how Michael Jordan had the offensive scoring load, but that's all he had to do. But if he'd have wanted to, Joy, he could have averaged 12 assists. When have you ever known Michael Jordan to want to do something and not do it? He wanted to own an NBA team. He got it.
Who gave as much energy on either end of the court as anybody who ever played? Michael Jordan all the way through his year 13, his last year with
What about those 2 years in Washington? Why
he took 3 years off, and then he was 38 and 39 years old.
Well, if LeBron James had to take 2 years off in between that, he could have gave a lot more
energy. They get to stew on this loss, this hot L until Saturday.
Joy, stop it now. That's unnecessary.
I'm just speaking the truth.
Oh, Biscayne Barbie up here. Oh, okay. Your day coming. Your day coming.
Is it a cold L?
It was cold.
Skip.
Cold.
Your day coming too. You will get exactly what you're looking for. Come Monday.
He's 2-4 when he falls behind 0-2. It hasn't happened in the Eastern Conference Finals since 2008 against Boston. But they
when he win this thing 4-2, everybody gonna talk about, oh, there's the baby Celtics. Oh, the baby Celtics. Michael Jordan would have swept this team. That's what they're gonna say. Michael Jordan would have. You think Michael Jordan would have needed 6 games?
They're gonna say, you know, JR is really good.
Don't do that, Skip.
He's got a hot hand.
Don't do that.
Are the Patriots too arrogant? One Eagles player thinks so, and we'll discuss that next.